So welcome to a new series of videos where I look at films that may look better on VHS. They're mostly going to be horrors, but like this one, can be a slasher film to some, is more sci-fi. But let's have a look and see what we think about with comparing the VHS and the Blu-ray of the film. So to start with, we're going to look at the actual VHS tape itself and go from there. Now we're going to look at the Terminator VHS tape in detail. So, the awesome, iconic poster and 18 certificate. This is a old VHS release, 103 minutes. Apart from a few photos, doesn't give anything away like the modern ones do. So there's no spoilers to the film, as what you'll see later. And then you get the VHS tape. Half-assed sticker attempt, but it's a good quality tape. Nice white thing there. I think apart from it's broken there. Nothing extras, but good condition. Because there's that tape. Then 20 years later, there's this one, the special edition with Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. Different poster, slightly, but nothing beats that one, really, does it? And so, yeah, retrospective documentary, 2 TV spots and trailers. But again, doesn't give it away what the Terminator looks like underneath, which is nice. And this one is sealed, even better. Keep it nice. So there we go. There's those two. And now on to the rest of the video. So in these clips coming up, the VHS is on the top and the Blu-ray version is on the bottom. So the first clip we're going to look at is when Arnie arrives in the past. I think because of the dark picture, especially back in the day on VHS, this is why this film is considered by some to be a slasher film or a horror film more than a sci-fi action film. Because if you look at how dark Arnie's face is, you can't see any features or something, which I think makes it scarier. So the next scene we'll look at is where Dick Miller meets a dark fate. And then we get one of the many quotable scenes. But as you can see, this is a daylight scene, and I think the VHS comes out better with the more natural colours and the less brightness. I think it's just one of those things where it's too bright on the HD version. And it's only when you compare it to the VHS that you actually see the big difference.
Uzi 9mm.
Even a 40-year-old film on a 30-something-year-old VHS looks pretty good picture quality anyway. Because the thing about the HD version is the details there, it's amped up to 11 on the brightness and the contrast, which is what always throws me off when I compare these two scenes. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. What do you think, Arnie? Am I right or wrong? Now we'll look at a scene in the future, but it's a flashback. Now we get to the future scene. So let's have a look at how these two compare. See, they kept this quite dark on the Blu-ray version. So neither version is that much different. I guess it's the colour correction mostly that you'll notice. The teal and one's more purpley. Some of these darker scenes, there's not too much difference, and things get lit up like she did. Unlike some HD versions, the model work comes out looking quite well and not obviously small. You've got me burning to go back to an 80s nightclub. Let's see how that looks. So here we are at Tech Noir. This is where I think we get the big differences, especially in colour. Let's have a look how red this is now. See, I think there might be too much colour in the Blu-ray version, and actually the VHS is a bit more subdued. What do you think? I think the VHS is looking pretty good at this point. It's hoping coping quite well with the action, the flashing lights and the colours. In fact, the details are quite good on the VHS as well. As you can see in this scene, the bottom one on the Blu-ray is quite pink, while the original is more natural looking. I have no idea how they do these remasters and such, but it does look like they've added more colour to the other one. And then, as we see now, it returns to the dark on the VHS, and Arnie is well lit outside.
Come with me if you want to live.
So let's have a look at the big practical effects now, and see if they hold up in HD. Again, I think it looks better in the VHS. Giving him flesh tones sort of takes away his menace. And then we get to this scene with the boosted brightness. The less you see, the better, I think, with this sort of effect. As I doubt they were thinking we'd get 4K at a point. As we look at this transition from model head to Arnie's face, the HD does look good, and it doesn't seem to spoil the illusion, so that's not bad. So we'll look at more of the practical effects, the digital point of view, and one of my favourite lines. So this time it's the other way around. It goes from real Arnie's face to model. And this is with the VHS. I think it looks better without any colour in it, showing him with dead skin, hence the flies, etc. Whereas in the HD version he looks quite healthy. And now we'll get the POV from the Terminator, with the text looking more detailed. Right, Arnie?
Fuck you, asshole.
Well, that's charming, but despite the hallway looking better in the Blu-ray, when it cuts back to this scene, the VHS, I think, wins with its darker and green tone. So now we'll look at comparing the look of the model effects. So is it just me, or does the top VHS version look a lot better? Natural colours and fire. Whereas the other one is very red. But here we get the awesome reveal. Michael Bean really sells it. I think the detail shows up better on the VHS copy. Let's see which format the stop motion looks better on. So this is where I thought the VHS would be better, but the close-ups it is, but I thought the movement would be spoiled by the HD, but as it flips between model and stop motion, I'm not 100% sure, but as you can see, that VHS is a lot darker than the hallway in this scene. Yeah, I think this is the bit where the VHS is better, in the shadows. Keep the Terminator hidden, makes it scarier. So now we'll look at some composite shots and see how the HD makes it look. HD doesn't really affect the movement of the model, but as you can see for this composite shot, the darker is better. The HD version does sort of reveal the joins of the shot. So one last look at the great model work by Stan Winston and his group. Again, I think the HD is too bright for this sort of scene, and keeping it in shadows is great. It works with a less is more approach, I think. So now we'll look at our last big shot. I think it's an effect shot, unless they just happen to have those clouds around, but let's see which one looks better. So I think I'll give this one to the Blu-ray, as the HD and the detail and the widescreen do make it look a lot more impressive. So that's it for this film, and now we'll look at the end credits, which have a bit of a difference. This is due to the acknowledgement of the works of Harlan Ellison, who wrote a Outer Limits episode called Soldier, which is very close to what this film is about, where a soldier from the future comes to the past. So that's it for now. Let me know what you think. Am I right, or am I mad? Thanks for watching. Here endeth the lesson.